What's up, witches? Luna here on a beautiful fall day. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. Most especially, hello and welcome to Catherine, Roxanne, Tavia, Becca, and Laura, my wonderful patrons who bought me the deck I'm about to unbox. This is my October deck. Oops. So thanks to you patrons. If you're interested in being one of these patrons, click the link below. But here we have what a great October deck. It's called Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle. I'm going to push this back just a little bit. All right. This is by Stacy DeMarco, illustrated by Kinga Britschke. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 letters, and only 2 of them are vowels. That's a name. Okay. Sorry. And the cover of this, look at this. I don't know if you can see. Do you see the scales? We've got like snake scale texture on this box, and I love it. This is by Rockpool. And we'll find out when it came out. There is great beauty and power in darkness. Boy, howdy. What if by stepping into the realm of the monsters and the things that go bump in the night, what seems twisted and dangerous is actually a torch leading us out of the darkness into divine wholeness? What if indeed? From the iconic Medusa to mermaids, valkyries, and vampires, selkies, and sibyls, find your truth in the deep, the dark, and the dangerous. This deck includes stunning images of the world's deep creatures, dark goddesses and gods, and dangerous heroes and shadows. Stacy DeMarco is one of Australia's most trusted and highest profile metaphysicists and pagan practitioners. Includes 44 cards and a guidebook. Let's go. And there's the snake. That texture on the box is just brilliant, and it's just embossed on. I love it. Here's the book. I have not, as you see, the only thing I've done is taken off the plastic on the outside. So you get your thing with Rockpool decks to download their app on your phone, and it's nice because you have access to many of their decks. I'm sure not all, and you can do like a 1 or 3 card reading with those decks. And I think you can also purchase digital copies of them. You know what would be a great idea, Rockpool, if you're watching? And I don't think it does this, pretty sure it doesn't, but if you purchase a deck and through that app you could read a code or something so you can access the entire deck and do full readings through that app, that would be very cool. All right, so here we go. Here's the book. Looking for the copyright. And now we've got red on black, which is much easier to see on camera than it is in real life here. Everyone is a moon and has a dark side. He never shows to anybody, and that's Mark Twain. Okay, this is this is just this year. Brand spanking new. Okay, we have an introduction. Let's learn a little bit. There's a profound beauty in the darkness, the unseen, the mysterious. In a world where we think we know everything, where the current paradigm of the world tells us that everything is brightly exposed with nothing unknown, choosing to still commune with possibility, and the admission that there is indeed some mystery remaining in the darkness is vital for our balance and harmony as humans. I'm going to see how long this... Yeah, that's a long introduction. I'm not going to read this whole thing. So she talks about duality, the most pervasive or frightening of the... All right, this oracle deck was conceived and created... This is what I'm looking for. Good. This oracle deck was conceived and created around such ideas. All right, we're not going to back up anymore. To understand that it is a sacred act to seek, find, and play with, and even have conversations with the monsters in our unconscious. That the most pervasive or frightening of these thought forms sometimes is not as it may seem at first glance, and that indeed there is a duality to what it actually stands for. Each card captures this duality, for it is a mighty aid to our wholeness. Each card features a deep, dark, or dangerous entity, and we explore its story and its message. I've also included a plant and crystal association for those that may wish to do further readings around the theme of this subject. Okay. Then we have about this oracle, how each card is structured. These are the following structural elements on each card: the name of the subject of the card and the message of the card in summary. So we have keywords, I'm assuming. Duality. The often paradoxical themes of the card and subject can be seen as light and shadow. The description, the plant companion, a little description there. The crystal companion, a description there. How to use the cards. Talking about blessing your cards. There's one card. There's Dark Moon 3 card, the 4 elements spread, traditional 7 card spread, timing spread, and dedication for your cards. And then we go straight into the meanings. And then at the very end, I saw we have about the author. Oh, there she is. There's Stacy DeMarco. Hi, Stacy. Nice to meet you. And then we have about the illustrator. Oh, no picture there. So Kinga Britschke is a Hungarian artist who has lived with her American husband and son in the U.S. since August 1995. Apart from a wonderful family, she has 2 big passions in life: art and linguistics, and teaching both. Wow. Okay. She's been involved with digital art for many years, working with Photoshop and Adobe, so I'm assuming these are going to be digital. She creates commercial graphics for many clients, which she enjoys immensely. All right. She loves surrealism, magical realism, and dark whimsy, creating figurative patterns with seemingly realistic elements that often result in surrealistic, mysterious images with layers of meaning. Okay. Let's go straight to the cards then. Well, not quite straight. That was pretty meandering. So we've got the snake in the bottom of the box too. And as, I did not know they were foiled. So we have the paper wrapper. And let me position these so we can come in close. There's the backs, just like in the box. What do you know? And then we kick off. Now, what we don't have is numbers. Yes, we do. There they are at the top. I was just going to say, how do we, because they're obviously not in alphabetical order unless they're reversed. Let's see. Nope, shadow is for, oh, okay. Here's what I missed in the book is that we have a section called deep, we have a section called dark, and we have a section called dangerous. Okay, I like that. So 17, 10, all right. So we start with the deep, and shadow, the key word here is depth. So they're definitely character cards. Here's a Selkie. And a Selkie is a seal maiden. And this is freedom. The art is definitely dark. I'm leaning a lot because the cards are, let's look at the stock. It's stiff-ish. I think I'm going to have to work a little bit to shuffle them. And they have they're glossy. Okay. I was going to say kind of semi, but no, that's pretty glossy. All right, so we have the Kraken next, and this is mystery. And it's so much easier to see them on screen, except I can't read the keyword on screen. The artwork is certainly deep and dark. Here's dragon, treasure. Kelpie. All right, Kelpie is looks like a seahorse. It says warning. Hell, acceptance. She's a goddess. Hades, he's a god, the underworld. Look at the masks. Scylla. I've found out just within the week it's Scylla. And Charybdis. So Scylla is resilience. Look at the snakes. I mean, is that Medusa or not? I would assume Medusa has a separate one. I'm going to take a look here. Going to peek. Oh dear. Here's something that's an issue. each page with the cards has a shadow of snaky skin behind the print, which I already am not liking. My aging eyes, and I'm getting cataracts, make it very difficult to pull those words out from the background. Okay, so I'm not going to read that. Sorry. Let's just carry on. Here's Cerberus, the three-headed puppy. And I keep thinking that, so this tells me this is thick cardstock because I keep thinking I'm picking up two cards at once. Gunakadite. This looks like it might be Northwest tribal or very northern America's indigenous. Hydra, regeneration. With the Gundakadite was blessings. Okay. What was, yes, Skulla, we got that. Apuch is fear. Ooh. So we have many cultures. Sybil is foresight. Mermaid is beauty. Remember, these are the deep ones. So think about, we had hell, we had Hades, we've had Scylla, watery deep, literally deep. Mithras is loyalty. Persephone is the journey. So again, underworld, and there's Hades in the background, we can see. And then we have the Minotaur, compassion. So he of the labyrinth, and I believe that is the last one of the deep. And then we have dark, and let's see, card number 27 will be the last of the dark. So here comes dark. Charon. He is reciprocity. Nyx. Oh, absolutely. Darkness. Look at that. I mean, let's just take a moment to appreciate the artwork. It really is truly beautiful. I don't know that there's a lot in the imagery that you can pull out to, intuitively hook onto. Since the cards are definitely centered on a character. We have Hypnos, which is rest. Hecate, illumination. Mormolaikeia, service. Mormolaikeia. Wow. Circe. Or could it be Chirchi? I don't know what's correct. And she is alchemy. Little vibe of the strength card there. Kali, love. Kali, love. That's interesting. Anubis, oh, respect. Yes, absolutely respect for you, Anubis. And this is the Morrigan, sovereignty. So you can get that she's a battle goddess and the crow is her bird. Lemure, loneliness. And now we are into the dangerous. Kicking it off with the vampire. Wow. Change, and vampire is hunger. Hunger. Werewolf is change. Myrmidon is discipline. I don't know who he is, but I like him. The Erinyes is vengeance. Wow. This is reminding me of, I don't know if anybody watched on Netflix. It came out in February of 2020 or January, a show called Lunanera. It was an excellent, excellent series, and it did not get renewed, probably because of how hard the pandemic then hit Italy, but which is where it was made. But there was a woman in kind of the school of priestesses there with this long white hair who was stunning, looked kind of like that. All right. Chimera is synergy. Wow. Banshee is grief. Jormungandr, Midgard serpent. Ah, cycles. The harpy, chaos. Katsith. I don't know what language that is. Focus. Look at that. That's like a boy racket with the white. Fetch. Mirror. Kush. I want to say Seath, but I have a feeling it's like she or something. Focus. Sheila Nagig. Boundary. I've heard that as Sheila Nahig. Interesting image. Sphinx is gratification. Oh, Griffin. What, baby? Did you hear that little squeak? That was Griffin. AKA Mitchell. Okay, disconnection. Oh, what, honey? Where are you? Oh, it's Pie and Mitchell are having it out over there. You couldn't see him anyway. They're on the other side. But oh, there's a Pie Wacket. Pie Wacket, what are you doing? Are you being a butthole to your brother? Well, you can see his tail anyway. Okay, Oshi, I have no idea how to pronounce that. AOSSI, disconnection. Valkyrie, choice. Medusa, injustice. And Puka, mischief. Okay, oh boys, good grief. All right, well, let's light something. Let's do a blessing. Here's for a smoke cleanse. And burning some sage here to get rid of any factory energy. And for all the handlers, everybody that touched it, thank you for bringing it to my door. And we purify and charge with air and fire. And then we bless and make whole with water and earth. Sorry, you can't see. And I should back out. Gazoom. All right. And with the bell, we bless. And then we welcome guides and guardians, allies and ancestors. Thank you for being here. I offer you fresh water, and I offer you the fire of Azrael, and to the spirit of this deck, and to, I don't do this, and I just realized I don't know why, to the author and the artist, I offer blessings of the fire of Azrael and the spirit of divination. Thank you so much for all the work that went into making this oracle for me. All right. Not looking forward to this. I have been beating like crazy. Yeah, this is stiff. I've been beating like every day, and my arm hurts. My arm has been aching so bad. And you're thinking, beating, it's not that tough. It's not like I'm doing this, but it's just holding this needle in the fine motor work. When you have a connective tissue disorder, yikes. Okay. It does shuffle nicely. I think it just takes a little woman handling in the beginning to make it loosen up a bit. But beyond that, all right, what are we going to do? I'm thinking about that 4-card spread. Let's take a look. The 4 elements spread. First one is earth. What is the true issue? The second is air. How can I solve it via intellect? The third card is fire. What emotions can I bring to this or release? And water. How do I move on flowfully from this issue? Okay. Sure, we'll do that. Yes. So, of course, as ever, our question for all of you that are watching, most especially for you. How do we, from where we are now, continue to do our best? Because I want to acknowledge that you are indeed doing your best. Continue to do our best and move towards thriving. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll set that fifth one aside. All right. I'm going to take them straight off the top. So the first one is Earth. What is the actual issue, the true issue? And we got good riffle shuffles out of it, so these should not be consecutive coming out. So we get Hades for what is the true issue, and he is number 7. Okay, I am having an issue reading. Do you see how the numbers are at the top? They're very, very pale. So unless you're sitting with really bright light. All right. And now I have to contend with the snake print. Everything has a cycle and a time span. Death is a natural plan of life. Plan a legacy. What matters most? Knowing this helps you live a better life. Move through change. What ideas have passed their use by date and can be left behind? All right. I'm already let me see if this is going to be horribly distracting for you, because I can't really see. Here, I have a little light. That's awful. So I'm going to hold it over here and read. That's much better. So the duality here, and the key word is the underworld. So what is the true issue? The underworld. Duality is death, life, knowing and unknowing. There is a myth that many people do not know about the Greek underworld of the god Hades. Hades had 2 brother gods, Zeus and Poseidon. When their father Kronos divided up the kingdoms of the world so as not to cause a fight, the brothers decided the fairest way was to draw lots for the kingdoms. Hades inherited the underworld by lot, and his brothers Zeus and Poseidon received the sky and sea respectively. While Zeus was the leader of the 3, Hades was neither monstrous, evil, or ugly. Like many dark gods, Hades has a bad reputation simply because of his association with death and darkness. As one of the gods of the underworld, Hades was well respected by Greeks, and they were careful to honor him well. I like the way that it's just kind of glowing here. You can pretend I'm looking in a glowing orb. All right. They were careful to honor him well, yet of course he was feared. Unlike, say, Ares, Hades was not a particularly nasty god and even looked for love a little more seriously than his brothers. The story of Persephone is possibly the most famous story featuring Hades, and one that shows that death is just another cyclic part of life. In the oldest form of the myth, Hades falls in love with Demeter's daughter Persephone, and it is a chaste and proper love. Hades goes to Zeus for permission, and Zeus promises Persephone's hand in marriage. Unfortunately, Zeus does not tell the women this and forgets his promise to Hades. Zeus. Hades waits and waits. One day, while watching his love happily frolicking on a day out with their friends, Hades rises up out of the ground and kidnaps her. He takes her down deep to his dark domain of the underworld and tries to woo her, explaining that she was promised to him. So, glaringly, in this myth, they've forgotten the consent of one key person. So yes, it was a chaste and proper. Demeter, goddess of agriculture and a dedicated mother, searches the world for her daughter. She is, of course, no longer to be found on the surface of the earth. In her huge grief, Demeter stops facilitating the growth and production of all food and plants. Everything dies back. There's no food, and the race of man begins to starve. This is the fruit of death, and anyone who eats of this must stay in Hades. By this time... Okay, no, wait. Sorry. Stops facilitating the growth and production of all food and plants. Everything dies back. There's no food. The race of man begins to starve. Meanwhile, Hades offers Persephone a red pomegranate. This is the fruit of death, and anyone who eats of this must stay in Hades. By this time, the gods have figured out that Hades has Persephone, and Zeus asks his brother to free her. However, Persephone has partaken of 6 seeds of the fruit so Hades now has claim to her. In fairness, Demeter negotiates with Hades so that Persephone can live 6 months of the year in Hades and 6 with her. With Hades and 6 with her. Persephone becomes queen of the underworld in her own right, and then, led by her torch-bearing friend Hecate, rises from this realm to spend time with her mother for the rest of the year. So this is how the seasons were formed. Every 6 months the earth dies back, and Hades claims the winter season and his bride. Then Demeter claims her daughter back for the growing season. The underworld is a realm like any other, and one that, although full of mysteries, full of possibilities, death is the step before rebirth. A fallow field with nothing growing is necessary, so that things may be planted and spring forth again. The underworld, like our unconscious, is a place of infinite possibilities. The plant is lily, and the crystal companion is black tourmaline. Okay, so there's a lot, there's a lot of information about the myth, and that's wonderful. You need to, know where the image comes from. But then, so I guess this first paragraph is really the meaning part. Everything has a cycle and a time span. Death is a natural part of life. Plan a legacy. What matters most? Knowing this helps you live a better life. Move through change. What ideas have passed their use-by date and can be left behind? Okay, so this is death. And I kind of wish they'd called it death instead of the underworld. It would have been a lot more straightforward. Okay. I don't think I'm going to read the whole thing of every card. So the next one, so the issue is death. So you might be, for you personally, this issue might be something that needs to be let go of, something that has reached its conclusion, something that no longer serves you, all of this stuff. And of course, as you can see by my cloth here, I am reading this in Samhain season, so it's a perfect topic for this time of year. The issue is our ability to let go. How can we deal with this intellectually was the air card. And we have Sphinx, gratification. I mean, that kind of really goes with air. It's blowing my mind how my new tablecloth here just blends with every deck I put on it. It's amazing. Like this looks like it's just dissolving into the background. Okay, so Sphinx is gratification, and this paragraph says, mark your successes. Use your intellect. Be wise, and as such know that you can't know it all. Be curious. I mean, this is like specifically answering this category of how can I solve it via intellect and communication? Well, this is how you use your intellect, and you be curious. Recognize what you don't know, that you can't know it all, and then think about the things that you really don't know. You don't always need to expect to receive something immediately. You don't always need to expect to receive something immediately. Take your time to do things well. Delayed gratification can build character and achieve big goals. So we're talking about gratification here. So you don't always have to be like, I'm going to do a spell. I'm going to get it right now. I expect it right now. Things have their cycles. And that's what death was talking about. Guard what is integral to you. Everything that annoys or irritates you about someone tells us a lot about yourself. It tells you a lot about yourself. Okay, so how can we deal with this intellectually? The duality is now, later, and knowing versus ignorance. Okay, how can we deal with the issue of death, of things, all things coming to an end? And how do I make gratification fit here? Be wise. You can't know it all. Maybe here, you know what, I'm going to move on and we'll see how it gets woven in. Because I'm kind of, it seemed like it was spot on, but then how do we deal with this issue intellectually? Take your time. Do things well. Understand that even your understanding has a cycle before you come to the conclusion of, really having an understanding of something. You've got to just kind of know that it's going to have its own cycle. And okay, I guess, I don't know. The third card is fire. What emotions can I bring to this, or what emotions can I release? And this is disconnection. Oh, and I was saying we shouldn't be getting consecutives. Here we have 40 and 41, of course. Respect the land, and especially the land you live upon. So this is fire. Find comfort and joy in the changing of the seasons and the green places you come in contact with. Protect and defend Mother Earth. Before you attack someone, make sure you have all sides of the story. This is attack, defense, connection, disconnection. So for fire, talking about emotions, finding comfort, and I am going to focus on Samhain. You in the Southern Hemisphere are just going to have to apply this when you get to your Samhain season. So we're grappling with death at this time of year. How can we deal with it intellectually? We can be curious. We can know that all things, that our gratification will come in its good time, in its own cycle, because this was cycles as well. And then as far as emotions, it's saying that we can find comfort in the changing of the seasons and this pretty infallible cycle. It varies certainly from year to year, but the spring has never failed to come in my lifetime. And so the emotions that we deal with here is maybe, around the changing cycles. Some people spend an awful lot of emotion on the weather. So, maybe that's something we can let go of. If you're someone who's a summertime fanatic and fall is a terrible, depressing time because here comes winter, then maybe look at investing some emotion into just, appreciating that cycle, that infallible cycle. All right. And the fourth card is water. How do I move on flowfully? And we have Scylla, which was, I think, one of the ocean cards. Okay. Life throws adversity at you, and her key word is resilience. She's got fish scales. Life throws adversity at you. There's no escaping this, yet building resilience allows you to handle this better. Building flexibility is a key to developing resilience. So how do we flow through things? We stay flexible. Boom. Righteous anger is not shameful. Sometimes you get caught between a rock and a hard place. You need to make a decision between two poor outcomes to get where you need to go. So it's resilience versus rigidity, righteous anger versus anger. Now, resilience versus rigidity, resilience might be fatalism too, of the duality of resilience is you rise again from something, but to be fatalistic is it'll never be any better. You just kind of say this is the way it's going to be, and you stop hoping, basically. Okay. Oh, and I haven't looked at the plants for either one of these. We have quite lengthy, so this page, descriptions and readings for each thing. The plant here is sea onion, and the crystal companion is serpentine. For Hades, it was... Oh, how interesting. 7, 8, 40, 41. Hades was lily and black tourmaline, of course. Sphinx was acacia and beryl. And then Ashi, I wish she gave pronunciations. Or Ace she. Okay, yes, it is she. Or Aessidhe, I know that's she. So Ace she is foxglove and amethyst. All right. So let's look at the fifth one, and we get Medusa. And we get the patron saint of this deck popping out, or you can see it on the book here, popping out to wrap things up. And this is number 43. So we had 40, 41, 43. And I shuffled well, but that, that's the way it goes. Injustice is Medusa. You must fight against injustice. To say nothing in the face of inequality or injustice only increases the imbalance. You have the right to defend yourself. Truth isn't always easy or evident. Look deeper. Sometimes the mirror lies. A half-truth is still a lie. Dualities are defense and attack, and justice and injustice. So it's talking about just fighting against injustice and seeking to be that balancing force. And we've got, the death season on us. We need to stay curious and approach it with our intellect and spend our emotions connecting with the seasons rather than lamenting the change of the seasons. As Trungpa Rinpoche has said famously, there is no cure for hot and cold. So approach things with an intellectual curiosity, honor the seasons, and celebrate them. And Skilla says, how do we move on from these things? Well, we stay resilient. We acknowledge that we are resilient, and so we stay flexible, kind of like that snake. All right. Well, I want to work with it because I'm not getting like those, that sort of intuitive download. Hey, oh my God. My OBS is freaking out right now, y'all. Come on. There we go. Okay, because, sometimes, as you've seen, I get a new deck and I start to read and it's just like volumes come forth. Not quite getting that here, but as I said, it's spooky season and I am looking forward to playing with it and, maybe just going straight with the keywords. Although I'm looking forward to reading the stories as well. I hope you dug this, you guys. If you did, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed already, think about doing that. And there's a wish list down below. If you'd like to purchase me a deck from that list, I will read for you on my unboxing video. What a deal! So, and you can include a question if you want. So thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you on Wednesday for a live stream if I don't progress with this semi-laryngitis that started yesterday. Anyway, I'll see you when I do. Until then, this is Luna. Blessed be.